Welcome to Reset Today with Stephanie J. You've just tuned into the show that allows you to reset in any area of your life. So come on and join me. Hit that reset bell and get ready to start fresh. All right. I am so excited just to be able to have another opportunity to talk with you on this podcast. I pray that you had a good weekend. I pray that you are enjoying this day wherever you are, whatever you may be engaging in, and I hope and pray it is something positive. I had a wonderful weekend, and I'm going to share a little bit about my impromptu trip back to Pennsylvania over the weekend. And I am just feeling so blessed. It's just blessed to be alive. In fact, the song that I'm playing from my son's SoundCloud, the instrumental is entitled Me More. Are you feeling love today? Are you feeling love in the air? Is it in the atmosphere? Is it around you? Are you feeling happy just to be alive? Even if everything is not perfect in your world, even if you are experiencing problems or heartaches or heartbreaks or, circumstances beyond your control, are you feeling any type of gratitude today? Well, I hope that you are, but you know what I'm going to say? If you're not, then maybe it's time to do a reset. That's right. And you've come to the right place if that is what you are in need of. We've talked about it a few times on these episodes. And let's just have a quick crash course, a quick refresher on what it means to reset. It means to set again or anew, to set, adjust, or fix in a new or a different way. It also means to make a change to a routine, a behavior, or a habit. So there, you can reset. And I hope that you make that choice on today. And before I get started, I'm going to take a moment and just let you know some of the other outlets that my shows can be heard on. A Brand New Day can be heard on Anchor, Spreaker, Spotify, Breaker, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, Overcast. Oh man, sometimes I lose track and I don't have my paper sitting in front of me as I thought, but Reset Today can be heard on Spreaker, which I'm recording on, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Anchor. They're both on Apple and Google Podcasts. Reset is on SoundCloud, Facebook, and YouTube. Podcast Addict. Both of them are on JioSaavn, JioSaavn, and other major networks. So I hope that you check those out. I have not been on a Brand New Day in a while, but you can certainly listen to a variety of episodes and topics. I have, I believe, 105 now. So yeah. Went back home to visit. My primary reason was to go and see, my son and grandson, and, have a chance to spend some time. And my trip started off pretty interesting. We arrived pretty early. And so I decided to take a scenic tour of the city. My son doesn't know a lot about where I lived, the places that I lived. And we just didn't have a whole lot of time the last time that we were there, and under the circumstances, surrounding my cousin's death, was not able to do a lot of traveling around. And so I went to my childhood place where I, lived from the age of 2 to 19, which was North Philadelphia in the Johnson Homes housing projects. And wow, it was quite different, quite amazing to see a place that you spent so much time, you spent so much of your childhood there. And from there, I rode around to my elementary school, and, I got out and I took pictures and I took videos, and, just perusing around the neighborhood. And then we rode out to Fairmount Park, up in that area, the Strawberry Mansion area. We took photos and, went by the Dell, where they used to have like music shows, and, the Stylistics and Delphonics, and, some of the popular groups and acts of that day used to perform there. And then we left there, and I went to my home in Norristown, Pennsylvania. We ended up coming back through Upper Darby, which was a place where we had an apartment. But so I did a little scenic tour of, some of the areas, and I was showing them different landmarks and, different little, meaningful places. And an interesting thing happened. As I was about to leave, my house, I was taking some photos of it. And believe it or not, the person who lives there still had my same mailbox on the porch. We had a little mailbox that you could just lift up and, lay envelope size letters. He still had that and a light fixture on it. But as I was about to pull off, I recognized the lady coming out of her car. She parked her car on the lot. And when I looked and saw, I was waiting to see if she would go in the very first house, which was next door to mine. And as she was going up the steps, I yelled out, I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Have you lived at this, residence for quite some time?" She said, "Oh, honey, 21 years. I said, "I was your former neighbor." She said, "Oh my goodness." And she was so excited to, see me. We spent some time talking and, just kind of getting caught up. She's from Venezuela. And so, we just talked a little bit, and, we ended up exchanging numbers, and, she's like, "Great to see you again. Keep in touch." And a few hours later, I received a nice text message from her. She was saying that, it was so refreshing to, see me. It was so unexpected, but she said she felt a very positive energy, and, she hoped that we would keep in touch. And I just told her, yes, I will definitely, keep in touch with you. So that was actually, it was great. And then I left the area and I went to, get my grandson. My son was not at the house at the time. And so I surprised him and snuck up on him. And so that was great. It was a great feeling just to be able to, after planning and thinking about it, so long. And I mean, we just had a wonderful time, getting caught up. Of course, we took pictures, and he and my son, they were playing, and they're in the back seat of the car, talking and doing stuff on the phone. They're playing, they were making like beats on the, the music app or whatever. And we went, and I got to surprise my cousin and his wife, my longtime friend, we've been out of touch for quite some time. And they only live a few blocks away. And so I drove past and parked, and I, went up on the porch, and I'm, ringing the doorbell, and nobody comes to the door. So I go over and I lightly tap on the window. And then as I'm about to turn and walk away, my cousin with his over 6-foot frame comes to the door, and he's like looking at me, and I'm like, Mr. Harris. And he's like, Stephanie. It was just so good. Such a good feeling to be, reconnected. And the amazing thing, I was on my way to the basement to surprise his wife. Now, his wife, her name is Lisa. We have been friends ever since he brought her to the family picnic out in Fairmount Park. She's a little older than I am, but I was 12 at the time. And we just hit it off, she and several of the family members. But come to find out, my cousin Darlene had a boyfriend at that time who lived around the corner from her. And it just so happened my cousin's wife lived right across the street. And so I remember going around there with her, to her boyfriend's family. And we were leaving, and she said, Lisa's girlfriend, Jim, lives right across the street. Let's stop by. And the rest, as they say, is history. We just became very good friends. 38 years. I had to ask her today. I said, how long has it been since you've all been? She said 10 years before marriage and 28. Wow, that is so amazing. And we had such a good relationship and such a good friendship, all through the years. We went through so much supporting one another, the ups, the downs, the, raising our children, watching each other's kids, just so much. We just had such a wonderful time talking and, getting caught up. So, we spent a great deal of time just catching up today, just reminiscing, laughing, talking about the kids, getting caught up. And I felt so excited, just being able to talk to her and just hearing and seeing. I was just so pleased to see the environment, the atmosphere, the home. I loved going to their home. I spent much time, at their home through the years, my family and their family coming to my place. And we were just laughing and talking about the cookouts and the good times. And in this day and time, isn't it wonderful when you can do that? I mean, everything does not always have to be about something going on or something negative. And I mean, really, I feel like if those are the sorts of relationships, sometimes it how it is when you haven't talked to someone in a long time, and then you finally talk to them and you see that, okay, this relationship has not grown. This person is still at the same place. They just keep talking about the same stuff, or, it's a bunch of negativity and all that. I don't like that. And so I'm just so glad that is not the relationship that we had, and it is not the relationship that we have. I am so happy that we have reconnected. And so I just wanted to take a little bit of time today and just get on and just talk a little bit about it. And I'm just hoping that, if you're in a season of your life where you find yourself out of